Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Let's take a look on our first lecture, Introduction to Database and Database Environment Part 1. This is the lesson objective. We are going to take a look at database approach and file-based system. Whether you are dining in the cafe, get a treatment at hospital, buy some groceries at the store, or accessing your social media account such as the Twitter or Facebook, those businesses need your data. They need to store your data for future use by the businesses to understand more about their customers or users. Previously, data is stored manually in a file-based system. And nowadays, most businesses had moved to store the data automatically in a database systems. Now let's take a look on file-based system first. Normally, company will record your data in a logbook or in a file and store it in a cabinet. I'm sure we have been to clinics where they store all your data in a file and place it in a cabinet. By definition, file-based system is a collection of application programs that perform services for the end users. Even though they are in the same company, but each department manage their own data for more efficient data access since the data is being placed at your own department. Now, let's take a look on the example. In a company, sometimes we have a few departments. And for example, we have a human resource department. This human resource department will manage their own data. And sometimes we also have the finance department. This finance department also will store or will manage their own data. One day, Ali, a newly hired staff, starts his job in the company. Of course, he needs to report duty to the HR department. And HR department will store Ali's data in their database. Because Ali is an accountant, he is assigned to the finance department. When Ali reported his duty to finance department, the department will record his data too, since the company is using the file-based system. They do not share the database. The same data is stored more than once, and that's what we call as data redundancy. After a few years working, Ali bought a new house which is nearer to the office. Of course, Ali will tell his colleagues from the same department about his achievement. Then, the clerk in the finance department updated Ali's address in their database. The same person's data, but with different values in the database. That's what we call as data inconsistency. One day, Ali had an accident and being sent to the hospital. And of course, the management of the hospital will contact the HR department of the company to deal with the employee's insurance. Then, HR manager decided to send some get well flowers to Ali's house. Where will they send it? Of course, to the address in HR database where Ali is no longer there. That's the situation of file-based system. Let's take a look on limitation in file-based system. The first one is separation and isolation of data. What does it mean here? The data is not being shared amongst the departments inside the company. The second one is duplication of data. Means file-based system will most likely have the data redundancy. The third one is data dependence. What does it mean by data dependence is when the data change, the system also needs to be changed. Number 4 is incompatible file format. Since the department manage their own database, so of course each database will have different kind of file format. And the last one is proliferation of software. What does it mean here? Mostly the file-based system is hard-coded system. That's why in the end, the file-based system cannot be used and they introduce a database management system. In database approach, the first component that we have is database. It is a shared collection of logically related data designed to meet the information needs of an organization, or we can say database is where we store our data. Database cannot be accessed directly by the user. Hence, we need the help of DBMS to access or to manage our database. DBMS is a software that enables user to define, create, maintain and control access to the database. In simpler words, we can say DBMS is used to manage the database. Then, this DBMS will be used by the user by using computer program. Computer program that interacts with database by issuing an appropriate request, for example SQL statement, to the DBMS. This database approach is also known as data independence. When the data change, the system does not necessarily to be changed. So this is the differences between file-based system and database approach. In file-based system, each application program refers to different databases, and in database approach, all of the application programs will refer to only one database. Now, let's take a look on the next part, which is about the view. In a database, since we have a lot of data, not all users can see all the data inside database. That's what we call as view. View is the subset of database. Different users will have different view of the database. If you are the sales user, so of course you will see only the sales data. If you are the HR user, of course you only see the employees details. Why do we need the view? The first one, this view can reduce complexity. Some of data might not be needed by you. You are the sales manager. Why do you want to see the finance of the company? Second one is to provide level of security. Some of the data are very confidential, so you are not authorized to see the data. And the third one is to customize the appearance of the database. And the last one is to present a consistent, unchanging picture of the structure of the database, so that the user will not be confused about the data that are not needed by them. I guess that's all for now. See you again in the next part. Thank you.